What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we are here with Camp Toyota and this is a 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. We're going to hit this awesome trail here to see what this truck is truly capable of.
Now if you guys are new to the channel, I sold my third gen Tacoma about a year and a half or so. I was anticipating getting in the fourth gen a little bit sooner. It'll be coming soon, but I won't be going with the Pro, I'll be going with the TRD off-road, so it's going to be really cool in today's video to not only check out how the Pro performs off-road, but we have the hybrid system too, which I'll be getting in my off-road. So we get to experience kind of everything about it. So now that we're in the TRD Pro, this is the second time we've been in the Pro. The first time it was more of a pre-production model where the seats weren't 100% complete. These look like they're a little bit better.
This should be production.
And yeah, and here's our test for the seats.
Yeah, if you look,
it's crazy to see.
If you push this way, hopefully you can see me doing that. The seat is like moving.
I'll try to stay steady.
And the base does that too.
Yeah, so it's
pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. We'll see how it does on all of these bumps.
To be honest, that little bump right there, I already felt it kind of.
Yeah.
Because when you hit bumps, you naturally just do this.
Yeah, in my third gen, we would rock. You'd hit your head on the window if you hit a bump big enough.
So already we're noticing that, which is pretty neat.
So as we approach the first obstacle with the TRD Pro, I'm really interested to see the overhang with this. Since we have the hitch now that is welded to the frame, we can't do high clearance bumpers like on my third gen and completely remove that to get it higher. But the TRD Pro also has about an inch lift up front, ½ inch in the rear, and we have some pretty good articulation there. We're gonna get into some more gnarly sections where, you know, this was a pretty easy walk up here, but we'll get into some harder spots where we'll really see the hitch get much closer. So that was actually not all that bad. I think we has the sway bar disconnect on at the moment, and then 4 low is it. We're not using crawl control or anything at the moment, but even going through some of these ditches here, they're pretty steep. They're a little bit deeper than the tire wall, and whew, as much as I wanted that to be gnarly, we're kind of just warming up.
Yeah.
That wasn't anything. We're gonna get to some really gnarly stuff here soon.
The truck stayed pretty flat.
Yeah.
It lost traction like at like the full droop sections, but
Just a little bit.
very quickly it sent power where it needed to go.
But Brian brought up an interesting point that we want to talk about with the hybrid system, since this is fairly new to us as far as off-roading goes. Comparing it to my third gen Tacoma, where with the V6, a hill like this, we were probably 2,500 RPM or more.
I'd say so.
Right? And we're at what right now? 1,100?
Going about 1,500 averaging, and about 1,500 for the most part.
I remember in my third gen when we came up to even just like a 2-foot wall where you tried to get the front tires to climb over, you were hearing the engine just bogging down, like just trying to get that power to turn the wheels. Where this, as you'll see, we have a lot more in today's video. We're pretty much just gonna walk everything. For the next obstacle, we have a pretty hairpin turn, as well as a little bit of possibly getting the hitch close to the ground. So as we come up, there's a pretty big pothole in the dirt there as he spins around this tree. Look at that articulation for that rear wheel, and then getting down pretty low there. But with the lift kit, the factory lift kit, we have a pretty good amount of clearance for this. Oh, I need 4-wheel drive. This is a steep hill. We got some more bumps here. Look at that, we barely hit. Went right through the crevice there. I will say too, this sounds really good for the 4-cylinder with that TRD exhaust. What a hill, huh?
That was sweet.
Woo.
That was a 30-degree incline almost. And it was
that was a far run.
I did that in the Land Cruiser, so.
Yeah, let's swap, but
that was also 1,500 RPM the whole way.
See, that was nothing. I mean, that sounds it sounds good too. I was talking about that TRD exhaust.
It sounds good.
For a 4-cylinder hybrid, I mean, it's no V6, but it could sound like a V6. It sounded like my third gen.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I used the tailgate to help assist me.
Ooh, that was really cool.
Wow.
You know, for people who still are knocking the 4-cylinder hybrids,
dude,
they're really impressive.
It's impressive.
You are not going to get that ease of power delivery with a V6.
Yeah.
Absolutely impossible. And I would say the turbo engine is also a fine option. I think the hybrid truly is the way to go with, because that capability and towing too.
Yeah.
I think it's very well worth it. If it's more of a daily driver, you're not actually going to be like hitting the trails or towing, turbo's fine.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hybrid for your needs, for sure.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey, these seats are pretty good for that high speed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Actually, you're not getting beat up at all.
Dude, in my Tacoma, we'd be going blah, 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 blah.
You could see the seat
Okay.
doing what it needed to do.
You ready? We can do that again here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Just don't go off the cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We can get a little bit of feel for it. You know, we're not maxing out this truck.
All right, so Mike's gonna do this next obstacle. So in the Land Cruiser, it maintained wheels on the ground just because it has the lower overhangs and shorter wheelbase. But this is a pretty cool section. It may not come off on camera as expected, but you have these two big potholes basically. And as he comes down, he's gonna sink into that one. And then this wheel is gonna come off the ground as he slowly goes, as you can see. So actually it's maintaining, wow. So he has sway bar disconnect on. The other Tacoma probably didn't have that on then. So pretty neat to see how that is doing it. But this is a big pothole. So on to the next obstacle. We got a trail hunter doing it already. Pretty cool Z-shaped turn. Very, very crazy elevation. Again, this does not come off on camera. But whoa. I almost died right there, but hopefully you can see that elevation with him behind me there. But let's take a look now at Mike coming down with those awesome TRD Pros behind him. But he is about maybe 5 to 10 feet below my eye level. So just very slowly making that turn. Yeah.
RPM. Like I'm just feathering the gas pedal.
Super easy to make it on that turn.
Oh yeah. We didn't even scrape. I watched the trail runner in front of us. The hitch didn't even hit the ground.
Yeah.
All right, so my first initial impressions with the TRD off-road or TRD Pro off-road. This is really, really impressive. Coming from two Tacomas before this, both having the V6s, I'm super excited for this power plant. Not only for towing, which I will be using the truck for, but when we go off-roading and we showcase all those videos, all the parts and everything that we do with it, this is one impressive truck. And we are getting some really nice thumbnail shots in this like gully way with the power line trail. Definitely some very scenic vibes out here in the mountains. You have anything to add, Bri?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's really good off-road.
I've been waiting for this trip for a long time because now I get to off-road the Tacoma before I buy one, and this is reassuring my decision in selling my third gen, which I was a little bit upset about. This is one heck of a truck. So let's follow everyone else. They've disappeared, and we'll get back into some even gnarlier trails. So we're gonna test the seats again because we're on this gravel road. And go a little bit quicker. Yeah, we're not really like in the right spot to test them necessarily.
Well, that was a camper bump. Same with this.
Yeah, I mean
It's definitely smooth.
we're in the gravel, yeah, and we're not really. Yeah, you can feel it. I'm sure it
definitely softens it out.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's pretty cool. All right, that Pro made it look very easy. So now we'll go back to our Pro here. We'll get an angle from the rear, so that way we can have a front and a rear with the Pro. I'm really curious again about that rear just because of the hitch. Look how close that is without touching. Just barely, just barely. Oh. How's that feel, Bri? I know, doesn't it feel?
It's crazy.
It feels so weird. So I am pretty much level here and he's not. So we're gonna come back. There you go. You got that rear off the ground there. We still have the sway bar disconnect, so it's definitely helping keeping that closer to the ground. So that way we have a nice smooth transition, just like that. I mean, this is making it look like we're not off-roading, to be honest.
We are for sure off-roading.
Yeah,
that was 30 degrees.
we're just taking a gravel road here.
Like, yeah, that was pretty steep sideways.
Yeah.
And I could feel the wheels were coming off. We were fully maxed out.
So there's one more obstacle for the last test here, where we have a pretty steep decline, and then that's going to lead us to where the Pro in front of us is going through the mud here, barely scraping there. I'm going to get out of the way so I don't get muddy as we have the second Pro coming. Very impressive to see. We got that slight lift kit, and then look at the rear bumper there. The tailpipes didn't even hit. So it's nice to see that for this model here, we have the dual exhaust. That's actually in a different spot than on the TRD off-road. So we have the dual pipes here on the TRD off-road. It's like one big pipe right here. So it's a little bit more in the way than on this Pro. So it's nice to see that the exhaust pipe is actually a little bit more high clearance than the off-road. Even though it's a dual system,
yeah,
it's like tucked away a little nicer where you didn't even hit it on that dirt.
Nice.
So nothing scraped while you went through that. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. We'll see you all in the next video.